Hey guys, it's Brian, and today I want to give you guys my review for the Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 2. Welcome to the club. So, yeah, what did I think about this episode? So, I honestly think it was a good episode. I honestly don't know if it was better or worse than the premiere. So, I'm honestly just going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. So, at this like sugar factory or something, we get some people, and one of them names is Sanjay, and apparently they have to clear this door, and behind it is full of walkers. They're given spears, but the guy Sanjay doesn't want to do it until he's being held at gunpoint to go through with it, which he does. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of walkers, and when it opens up, we get this molasses just dripping from the door, and yeah, it's quite a scene, and it's just dripping like crazy, and people are like they're slipping in the molasses and getting pulled by the walkers, and it's happening. Everyone is just getting pulled in, and honestly, it's just I don't know, it's kind of weird. Even the woman in the group is getting pulled in, and she tries to grab the guard's leg, and she begs for help, but he doesn't. He tries to close the door, and he shoots her in the head, which was sad to see. But he gets pulled too, and unlike the woman, he doesn't get a painless death because as he's going through the door, the guy Sanjay, he tries to help him pull him, but it doesn't work. It's too slippery, and the walkers are pulling him. Plus, he kind of like lets go, I suppose. And yeah, after that, that guy just get up straight devoured, and yeah, it's pretty gruesome. So we get the intro, and it's actually Strand holding a bucket, and so for the past 5-6 weeks, it turns out that Strand and Alicia have been they've been emptying latrines in this community called Lawton, and yeah, so they've been doing that and setting it on fire, and we get some new characters. So they're rangers for Ginny, and one of them's name is Marcus, and the other one is Cameron. And he kind of antagonizes them. He wants them to move a flaming bucket. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. The barrel is on fire, so they can't really do anything with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, Strand, he kind of stands up to him a little bit, and yeah, I mean, just the guy, he even pulls a gun out. I mean, just come on, it's just ridiculous. It's just silly. I mean, this guy, he really thinks he's tough. So we get a girl telling him to back off, and it turns out this girl is Dakota. We find out later, and yeah. So, anyways, we have Alicia and Strand talking, and they're gonna go to Ginny. I suppose she needs to figure this out, sort it out. And Alicia thanks the girl Dakota for helping them earlier. So anyway, Ginny is getting a haircut, which it doesn't really do much, and she's getting a haircut by Daniel too, and he's got a bruise on his head. And Daniel is acting so passive, you know what I mean? But Alicia and Strand are talking to Jenny, just about everything. And, she mentions that they can't be doing this, and that, like, they're going to have to, get a new job, a new assignment. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, also she pulls out, Alicia's weapon from a drawer, and, says that, they to be sent to their new assignment. And Strand talks with Daniel. And Daniel's so passive. Even when Jenny's not there, he acts like he doesn't even know him. He even gives him, like, this necklace. That was a weird scene. So anyway, they're in the SWAT truck, and, they're moving. And we find out that they're being taken to the same sugar factory as the previous characters. And, yeah, there's a bunch of walkers behind the door, obviously. And, yeah, the guy says that the future is in there, I suppose. And a guy tries to escape, but he gets shot. And, yeah, anyways, we get reunited with Charlie, and she mentions she tried to run away twice. And, so she is kind of sent here, I suppose, in the doghouse. And we even get Janice, Tom's sister, and apparently she was caught stealing, I guess. So that's why she's here. But, yeah, I just noticed, oh, yeah. So anyways, we have, more prisoners, I suppose. And Victor kind of steps up as leader and says they have, they have to fight back. We get the guy from earlier, Sanjay, who says that, there's a lot of walkers and molasses, and that's how people slip. So they probably can't do this. We have some guards coming in and saying that, their weapons are here. So we have them taking some lame spears from a truck. And Alicia mentions that it's probably not a good idea to attack the Rangers because they have guns, and they don't have good weapons, I suppose, which makes sense. And Charlie comes across Dakota, and yeah, she snuck onto one of the trucks, and she says that she really can't be here. She wants to escape, and she also mentions that she is Virginia's sister, which honestly is kind of crazy, but also makes a whole lot of sense. It's also funny. So she says that there's a weapon that is in the door and that Ginny wants it, so the group decides that they should get the weapon instead and use it against her. And even Dakota makes that plan, but Victor makes some good points. He's like, how does Virginia know it's in there if she's never seen it? So yeah, anyway, Alicia talks to Victor, and both make some really good points, although I'm on Alicia's side more because they don't have guns, and they really don't have what it takes. Sure, they have people, but honestly, these people are not, they're not ready to take on a whole bunch of people with guns and who don't hesitate with killing. Like, Alicia can take out a couple, but the rest of them probably not. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of hard to say. Like Victor. So they make a plan to lead the herd in like these traps and these barriers, so that way they can kill the herd sort of more one at a time. And the group is kind of ready. Strand really steps up as sort of a leader character in the group, even though Alicia is more of a leader, I suppose. But yeah, Strand and them are killing walkers, and they have a really good system. They have some people dragging out the walkers away so they don't get overwhelmed or trip on any of the dead corpses. So that's interesting. But unfortunately, the barriers they made with the pallets unfortunately start breaking. And yeah, they're starting to get overwhelmed. There are tons of walkers. And the guy Sanjay is not the gate anymore to close it. And they're getting overwhelmed. The walkers are trying to get through the sides. And even Charlie gets grabbed. Like, she almost gets killed here. And it's pretty crazy. Like, I'm surprised she actually legit did not get bit multiple times. That is crazy. So anyway, so Alicia and Dakota, they save her. And, Charlie even thanks her for saving her life. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And we have some guards coming in, and they're trying to take Dakota away, but she refuses. And the barriers start breaking through, but the girls manage to run. And so anyways, the Rangers, they start opening fire on the walkers, and the walkers are breaking through to the other side. So yeah, Strand says that they can defeat them and they can win. So yeah, anyways, so they are killing walkers, and it was a well done scene. So Dakota tries to run away. She hides underneath the kind of barrier, and the characters are using pallets against the walkers as sort of like a fence because they're breaking through. They're starting to get overwhelmed, and it's just absolutely crazy. Like, this was a well done scene. And one of the guys, Rangers, he gets bitten trying to get Dakota, and even the woman too. So yeah, anyways, the characters, Alicia says that they need guns and they need to figure something out. And Strand gets into the RV, and there's Sanjay, and he says they need to help their friends somehow. And that's what they decide to do. So he tries to blast a horn on the RV, but unfortunately the walkers pay absolutely no attention. He tries multiple times, but it doesn't work. So because of that, Strand needs to come up with a new plan. He even takes Sanjay's knife, and as they're going out there, Strand does something pretty crazy. I mean, Strand is like mentioning how they should have went with his plan at the beginning, but I suppose it's too late now. And Strand pulls a Shane. It's just absolutely crazy because I really did not expect this from Strand, honestly. But yeah, Strand stabs Sanjay in the leg and, just uses him as bait against the walkers. I mean, that is just crazy. I did not expect him to do that, like the type of character he is, I suppose. And, he knocks down Sanjay, and the walkers start to notice him. And yeah, I mean, I would not have wanted to have been Sanjay. Alicia and Janice get some guns, and they shoot the walkers. And yeah, and Strand, I mean, like, that's just crazy. I don't know if they're going to make him darker, but yeah, that's crazy. So anyway, Alicia and Janice are shooting the walkers with the guns they have. They managed to clear them. And yeah, I don't know if all the Rangers are dead because I only thought 2 died. But yeah, so yeah, Sanjay is still dead. And but all the walkers are done. They managed to kill them all, from the door. So Strand says that they have enough because Virginia is coming to get her sister, so they have to move now and find the weapon. But unfortunately, there is no weapon whatsoever in that room. And it's just crazy. Like, Dakota even says that she didn't lie. Just, that's what she said. Virginia said there's a weapon in here that she wants to use against somebody, and we know it's Morgan. So Virginia comes looking for her sister. And yeah, I mean, it's just... so yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like Virginia is abusive, but it's pretty obvious they're not a normal sister relationship. So Strand asks Virginia about how, what was the weapon here, I suppose. And, Virginia, she talks about how, like, the weapon was like you. Like, it turns out, like, this was just a training exercise. Like, she was just building an army, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing here except to train people. It's just crazy that this was all, in a way, for nothing, I suppose. I mean, Virginia is just... she is pretty crazy if you think about it. And she gives Strand, I guess, a key or a pass, like, to make him one of her. And yeah, So we have Daniel giving Charlie a haircut, and she even asked him, she even plays a song, and she mentions that he taught her, but Daniel says he doesn't really remember it. And yeah, so anyway, Alicia and Charlie are leaving, and Alicia and Janice hug because she is staying here, and Alicia is going with Charlie. So yeah, I guess the characters are splitting up again. So Strand talks with Alicia about how, the things that are happening and what they did and how Sanjay, died for them. But Alicia she's asking why he's sending her away, and Strand mentions how he has to be season 1 Strand again. He says that to do this, to win, I have to let go of everything, including you. Like the person, just not like he doesn't want her here, so he doesn't want to be a better person, and because of her, and he gives her the necklace that Strand gave him earlier. Not Strand, Daniel. So yeah, it's like a Saint Christopher necklace, or yeah. Anyways, Daniel is going with Cameron with a donkey out of the community, but he says that he forgot his scissors, and he asks him, I can't believe this was all an act, by the way. Like, Daniel really convinced me that he lost his memory or something, but it turns out like it apparently all was an act. So Daniel takes out a knife and he's looking in the woods, and we see that Walker is coming for him, and even though we don't see anything behind that Walker, it gets hit in the head by an axe, and we all know who that is. It is Morgan Jones, or I guess not Morgan Jones, but Arthur Morgan. I want to call him Arthur Morgan from now on. So he says hi to Daniel, and he mentions he's a friend, and Daniel's like, it's good to see you again, Morgan. I knew Virginia was looking for you. So that is pretty cool. We have 2 awesome, guys, tough guys in The Walking Dead, and I hope they're going to stop being pacifists. I can't wait to see what happens. So they shake hands, and yeah, I mean, I'm so excited. So yeah, the episode ends. And what I think about this episode. So yeah, this was honestly a great episode. Honestly, I think it was just as good as the premiere. It's crazy. So we get a preview for the next episode. It looks like Dwight and Althea are in the city, and we get little Morgan, a reappearance from her. And yeah, I'm so glad that her and her mother, Rachel, are back in the show. I was worried they were going to disappear and never be seen again. So we get Althea and Dwight being held at gunpoint in the building by, I think, the Jason people, with the Jason mask. So yeah. Anyways, Rachel asked Morgan where he got this, so maybe it's a key or something. Maybe she saw it before, who knows? And after that, we get Dwight. I think he says to Althea, like, screw protocol or something. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens and what they do. And we have them going, I think, through a duck, and there's like tons of rats. So yeah, that's it's pretty crazy and gross. We have Morgan, and it looks like he is just holding his axe, and I can't wait to see more of the axe throughout the season. We have Dwight and Althea bursting through a bathroom in the building with their weapons and lights drawn, so maybe they're looking for someone. And we have Althea on the walkie-talkie. I think she's asking someone, are they infected? And I don't know, maybe she's going to look for Isabel in the helicopter. We have her hugging what I assume is Dwight. Looks like him. And we have Dwight running in the daytime in the city, so I don't see Althea. We have this woman, kind of old. I don't recognize her. New character, possibly. She's looking at someone or something. And we have someone ringing a desk bell, maybe to attract walkers. He has a knife, it looks like. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 2. Welcome to the club. So yeah, honestly, this was a pretty good episode. We got some pretty good development with Strand. I think they might possibly build him up to die later in the season, as, a big character death. And we got to see my queen, Alicia, or I guess our queen. But anyways, yeah, it was a really good episode, honestly. And yeah, I can't wait for next week. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode down below. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.